Hello everybody and welcome back to Studio FarriMoCo. In this series of videos I'm going to show you either the greatest decision I've ever made or the cause of the ruination of my sanity and my business. See, doing what we do here at FarriMoCo, classic car storage, lots of automotive photography, I need space. It's a simple fact, unfortunately. And if you've seen my previous videos, you'll have seen that space was absolutely at a premium. There was no room to move whatsoever. We had outgrown where we were, and the decision had to be made. I needed more space. 5,000 and a bit square foot just wasn't cutting it anymore. So I took on 22,000. Oh, happy days, you think. 22,000 square foot. How glorious and delicious. You can see quite a lot of it in the background there, but this is the main chamber. There's actually loads of other space as well besides. The problem was 22,000 square feet of commercial property costs a lot of money if you want a new build, which is what my previous place at Whitehills was. That was, well, I was the first tenant in there. It was 2.5 years old by the time I moved out. So it was a beautiful new construction. However, with my budget not stretching into the hundreds of thousands of pounds a year for a lease, by the way, I needed to compromise. So I did. This building here is actually over 100 years old. And yeah, it shows. There's a lot of work to be done. When I first saw the building, it was dark and it was full. The previous tenants, who had been here over 30 years, had all their machinery in here still. They had all their stock. They had all sorts in. So I couldn't get a proper feel for the place. However, I knew that being the size that it was, the money that it is, it wouldn't hang around for too long. So I had to jump on it. Do I regret that? No, because regrets are rubbish. This is going to be absolutely epic. Potential? My God, this place has got it. In fact, I'd go as far as saying it's the biggest fixer-upper ever to hit the UK market. And that's not hyperbolic, it's maybe a fact. Let's take a look at its current situation, and I'll run through my plans for the building, but also it's probably going to be a monthly thing that I just update you with how much money I'm actually spending on the place. And I already know that in 12 months' time, if I'm still alive, that will be a dazzling amount of money. So let's get into it. Let's start at the front. As you can see just behind me there, that is all the gubbins from the mezzanine at the old building. I was supposed to have a good 2 weeks between getting the keys for this place and having to hand the keys back at my other two buildings. However, with solicitors and everything that was involved, time was taken and it was long. So I ended up with 2 days and that was it to move all of these cars and all of this stuff. I'll show you this here. This was an office actually, and they were working in here until only about a week before I got the keys. Can you believe that? It's, oh my God. I feel like my lungs are actually tightening just being stood in there. So let's get out of there. I'm just getting rid of that. Replaster and sort the walls. So it's just a nice spot. This entry zone here, there's a few different ideas for this place. Some of it may be sublet out. I might get a detailer in, or it might just be a really cool lounge. Come and check out the toilet. Do you need a wee? Because once you've seen it, you might not. There we go. 2 beautiful toilets, male and female. This guy, Ash, I don't know who he is, but apparently he likes it that way, which is no problem, of course. This lovely slidey door here goes through to what was actually a bit of a secret compartment. When I first came to view the spot, the entrance here was all blocked up with boxes, so I couldn't actually see anything. But take a look in here. This is just such a cool little spot of nothing, really, but I just think it could be so sweet. Look at those steels there. Now, I figure they've got to be original. got to be, which makes them over 100 years old. Now, one thing I'd really like to do is actually knock a big portion of that wall down, because it would open up the steels into the main chamber, which I just think would make such a great feature. It'd look super, super cool. Into the main chamber here, as you can see, if I'm talking about knocking parts of that wall down, what you'd end up with is a bit more of an open space. But if I knock that portion of wall down, what we'd be left with is those incredible steels, which I can paint up and use as some sort of feature. This actual area here is going to make up quite a large portion of studio space. So it's going to be super clean, super slick, super white, and it's going to make for some incredible natural daylight photographs. I can't wait to get that first car on there and get that first shot, because it's going to look delicious. So, sweeping from the studio space into this. Now, this is going to be a bit of a lounge space. Lovely, lovely floor, lovely drinking area, coffee machines and all that sort of jazz. But then this middle area here, between those pillars and this pillar here, that's going to be the glass space. It's going to be the office, essentially, the editing suite. So Care Blair and I have got somewhere lovely and warm to do our video editing. With glass partitions here, in line with the pillars, the flooring, probably wood of some sort. The flooring is just going to continue underneath, so you've got this perfect route through into the lounge. Now, imagine being sat in here. It's hard to imagine right now. Being sat in there, you're picking up your glorious car that's been here for storage, and you're doing the paperwork, and through the glass, there it sits on a lovely stage. Really, really excited about that. Cost-wise, I've absolutely no idea. See, that's the thing. This is the Christmas period, and clearly nobody is working right now. So as far as getting quotes through for work and even getting site visits, it's remarkably tricky right now. So I've been in this lengthy period now of limbo where I can't get anyone to talk to me, which makes me very sad. But let's cheer myself up by going through to the next chamber. And here it is. 6,000 square feet in this back area. Currently, we've just got the glorious electric Ferrari 308 converted by Electric Classic Cars. Belongs to a delightful client of mine, and it's an absolute monster. 600 horsepower pulled back to 450 horsepower, fully electric, so the power is bang, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Right now, this is the Ferrari's home, but once the work begins, it's all cleaned up and dehumidified. This will be the home for 20, maybe 25 or 30 cars. So, as we walk out of chamber 3 back into the main chamber, I'll show you something that, to be honest, I'm most excited about from a photography point of view anyway, because it's going to look the bomb. There's a really cool area just here, well, other side of that trailer. First of all, really, really great steel there. So that's going to form part of the office. So the office wall is actually going to extend just beyond that steel. So we can really make a feature out of that. And just on the floor is the back end of a Triumph 1300. Why? Well, if you saw my auction video a couple of months ago now, you'll see that I bought the Mercedes E220 Cabriolet, but at the very end of the video, I managed to feel sorry for and take huge pity on a Triumph 1300 that was just not going anywhere. So I bought it. It wasn't actually that one, but I've bought that as a reminder so I can tell myself at any future auction, don't buy stupid cars at the end. Even though I made 500 quid on it, happy days. So, further around here, where the motorhome currently is, you'll see it's a perfect spot with the pillars there for an extra roller door. So the roller door is going to go in, and subject to a meeting with a structural engineer in a couple of days, this is going to be a light tunnel, and it's going to look crazy. This is the pillar here that I'm hoping to remove. Now, I'm expecting that I'll need another steel like that. And the cost of steel these days is scary. So I'm prepared for that. If it's too scary, then I might just have to do a simple swap. Office is going to go on this side, and the light tunnel is going to go on that side. But come and have a look at this. if I make this the access side, I'll need to sort this out. This huge ramp here, this basically a hole in the floor. All this concrete will need cutting out and then refilling to form a bit of a slope. Because if you were to just take your concrete and lay over the top with it, it would be too thin. So the second you start driving cars over, it's going to crack. That's quite a large area there that will need digging up, reconcreting, and that will cost quite a lot as well. So 2 minds currently, and the cost of a potential steal here is going to determine whether the office goes on this side or on that side. I really hope the office can go on that side as planned, because the light tunnel here will be absolutely sensational. Roller shutter door just there. This will all be, you know, studded and walled out, painted black, inset lights. Oh my gosh. Get a beautiful car in there, stand just here, get some incredible shots. But as you then drive your car in and through, you're into the storage chamber. So impact upon impact upon impact. The potential with this place blows me away. And honestly, I feel so fortunate that I've actually got the keys for the place. You'll see, if you've been keeping an eye on the background, yes, you'll see bits of damp on the wall, you know, all over the place. But roofers are in already, so the roof's getting sorted. For saying it's a 22,000 square foot space, when it absolutely launches it down, there's maybe 4 or 5 leaks about the place, and that is it. So super fortunate there. The floor is absolutely superb, so we need maybe a bit of paint on the floor to make it just look a bit nicer. The main expenditure is the boring stuff, to be fair. I've already put the CCTV in, the alarm's already in. Of course, stuff like that is absolutely vital, but there will be more fortification to be made as well. So please stick around for the journey. I'll be popping videos up as and when things happen. I'm hoping to do a monthly update, and I'll let you know how much I'm spending along the way. For now, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this is the last you see of this building in this condition. I love you all dearly. Catch you soon.